What's going on, friends, and welcome back to another video. This week we're talking about a week in our lives, homeschooling, and everything in between. The first thing I'm starting off with here on Sunday is all of the prep work that goes along with home learning. So I started with our sight words. I'm filling out our calendar for the week, and then you'll see me figure out everything else along the way. Sunday afternoons are my favorite to just take the time to get everything ready, prepped, get our calendar prepared, make sure I know what to expect, and that we have everything ready to roll on Monday for homeschool. I'm a big proponent of color coordinating and color coding everything. It helps my brain to operate so much easier, and it helps me to get a good visual look at everything on our checklist for the week, all of the topics we need to cover, things we need to review, and I usually organize everything by color according to the subject, and that helps me to know what we need to get done. As I finish up with our weekly calendar, I put it in our desk so that it's visible to myself and to my son so we can see what we're up against for the week, what we need to tackle. And the next thing I do is get ready our reference board. I try to make our sentence as neat as possible so that it'll be a great reference for my son to go back and look at and for us to practice with and model a correct sentence. So that's why I'm going so stinking slow. The next thing on my list of prep this week was the Jackie Robinson and Rosa Parks timelines. In February, we learned about Jackie Robinson, and this month we're learning about Rosa Parks. So we are going to continue adding to this timeline as we learn more about historical figures so that my son can kind of understand the relation and the overlap of issues and the history timeline behind it all. I'm cleaning off our learning chart from the week before and filling in the activities that we'll be working on for Monday, as well as writing a little note to my son. And here is our learning reference chart or board that I was talking about earlier. You'll see we have our Bible verse, the things that we're working on, as well as the sentence that I posted.
You make a number line to help you figure out where they go.
This 100 chart board is from Amazon and we have absolutely been loving it. It is a great tool to use for math, I think for a number of grade levels or ages. And if you're interested in grabbing one of your own, I'll be sure to link it down below. A super easy way to help your child build familiarity with their numbers, especially up to 100, is by removing some of the numbers like I'm doing here. You could also do this with like a paper 100s chart and cut it up to make a puzzle. But this is a great way for them to become familiar and comfortable with where and how their numbers all work together.
I just got done doing school for the day and we are about to get ready to go to jiu-jitsu. So that's something new. My hair is just a mess. That's something new we've started and part of our routine. So it's throwing things off just a little bit, but we're figuring it out and making adjustments as we need to. So I'll check back in. As soon as I go to start, of course, he starts barking as usual. Son. Alright, so it's Wednesday and we're in the middle of the week, but more toward the end of our school week. And I wanted to share just a few different things about what's going on. He's about to start barking again. About what's going on as far as our sight words and reading activities go. So I think a lot of people get discouraged when they are homeschooling or working with their kids at home because they feel like it has to be perfect or very intricate as far as the activities that they do. And that's not the case. So I wanted to share one of the little activities we have for, it would be like word work and then in a traditional school setting, I'm sure, for like kindergarten or even first grade early readers, right? So these little Legos, all in here, these guys, I picked up at the Target dollar spot or whatever they call it now a few years ago, and they just have letters on them all around, and then they have the single ones or like the single pieces or the one that holds 3. So what I did is wrote on there with a little Sharpie pen different letters. Now you can do blends, you can do uppercase and lowercase letters so that they could match them. You could write whole words on here to build a sentence, but just something as simple as some Legos that are in some fun colors, I thought, can turn into an activity easily. So I don't want you to feel discouraged if you don't have an activity or a curriculum or program that you're following, because there are tons of ideas on Pinterest or even that you can come up with off the top of your head. I'm absolutely positive that you can do with your child to work with them, build their reading skills or any skill really. I think it's fun to kind of see what you can use that you already have or that you've seen before and just recreate using something else that might be a little simplified. You can do it. So I don't think that it has to be rocket science. I don't think it has to cost $1 million. And I know for a fact, because I did it in the classroom and now I'm doing it with my own kid, that it's easy to come up with ideas and concepts. You are very intelligent. Don't jip yourself and think you can't do it, because you can, and it's gonna be fine. Your child is always learning, and they're going to learn and pick up on what you're working with them, and what they're exposed to. So just have that in mind. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I'm like getting our homeschool stuff ready right now. So before that thought slipped my mind, I wanted to get on and share it on camera. The other thing that I was going to talk about is handwriting. I have realized that kids don't even learn cursive in school anymore. And I know, like, when I was growing up, that was one of the things you had to learn, I think like starting in 3rd grade or something like that. So, and I kind of feel like we're getting away from having nice handwriting, legible handwriting, because everyone is on and touching a screen. You don't really have to use a pen and paper for many things anymore. But I do think it's important, especially for building fine motor skills and having the link between like hand-eye coordination even. I want my son to be very well-versed, I guess, in writing. So even if it's something as simple as like the little ABC handwriting workbooks, I think even Dollar Tree has a few different options, like the spirals that have the tracing with the letters on them. That is an activity that I expect for my son to do. He has even done it on the iPad with like a stylus, but he practices his handwriting, holding the pencil correctly, and all that jazz. It doesn't have to be difficult, but there are some things that if you feel like they're of importance, if you see that your learner is struggling or needing a little bit of extra support, just simplify it. A lot of the time, that's what it takes. So we are about to finish up lunch and jump into homeschool, finish tidying up around the house, and I think we'll probably try to go to the park today because we have rain in our forecast the rest of the week, and we definitely need a little bit of a change up, especially with a clean house. The good thing is to get out of it and leave it clean for a little bit. So that's the plan for today, and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit.
We'll see you again on Luigi Haunted Mansion. to Finding Forest.
Just do your math, my goodness.
So,